Reuters reported on February 21 that Iran has begun exporting ballistic missiles to Russia. The news agency cited 6 sources as saying that Iran has so far provided Russia with about 400 short-range ballistic missiles from the Fateh 110 family, including the Zulfiqar. The Zulfiqar is a road-mobile missile capable of striking targets at a distance of up to 700 kilometers or 435 miles. The sources said that the missiles were transferred to Russia in early January, after a deal was finalized in late 2023 during meetings between Iranian and Russian military and security officials in Tehran and Moscow. Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu visited Tehran in September 2023 and met with the commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Aerospace Force and other Iranian officials. The sources said that at least 4 shipments of missiles have taken place, with some of the missiles being transported by ship via the Caspian Sea and others by plane. More shipments are expected in the coming weeks. The Iranian Defense Ministry, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the Russian Defense Ministry, and the Pentagon have not yet commented on the report. White House National Security Council spokesperson said in early January that the United States is concerned that Russia is close to acquiring Iranian ballistic missiles, in addition to missiles previously acquired from North Korea. The deepening of military defense relations between Tehran and Moscow will have far-reaching effects in the region. It is said that in exchange for Iranian weapons, Russia will provide Iran with advanced weapons such as Su-35 fighter jets and attack helicopters. Reuters reported in October 2022, citing 2 Iranian diplomats, that Iran had agreed to send more drones and missiles to Russia. The agreement was reached on October 6 of that year, during a visit by Iran's first vice president, accompanied by 2 senior IRGC officials and an official from the Supreme National Security Council. The Washington Post and CNN also reported in separate reports in November 2022 that Iran was preparing to send new weapons, including ballistic missiles, to Russia. Although these statements were only news reports at the time, John Kirby, spokesman for the U.S. National Security Council, officially announced in a virtual meeting in December 2022 that the Iran-Russia military agreement would also include the transfer of ballistic missiles to Russia. Even though over 18 months have elapsed since the initial reports of Iranian missile exports surfaced, the delay in transferring these weapons is primarily attributed to international sanctions. According to a report by Forbes magazine in early 2023, Resolution 2231 stands out as the principal barrier hindering the export of these missiles. It is anticipated that Iran will need to either decrease the range and warhead capabilities of these missiles before the restrictions end or await the expiration of the sanctions to proceed with their export. According to Annex B, Paragraph 4 of the Resolution 2231, the arms embargo will continue for 5 years after the date of acceptance of the JCPOA, which is October 18, 2015. This embargo was lifted on October 18, 2020. Based on the aforementioned paragraph of this resolution, and the possibility of buying and selling what is called conventional weapons in this paragraph was provided for Iran. However, the controversies created are related to the previous paragraph. According to paragraph 4 of Annex B, the purchase and sale of the items mentioned in the said document, and other items as determined by the relevant government, is prohibited for 8 years after the acceptance of the agreement. Based on this paragraph and according to the Missile Technology Control Regime, all rocket systems, including ballistic, satellite and other systems, as well as all unmanned aerial vehicles, including cruise missiles, target and reconnaissance drones that can carry a minimum payload of 500 kilograms to a minimum range of 300 kilometers are banned. However, after October 2023, all these restrictions will be lifted for Iran. As expected, less than 6 months after the end of these sanctions, the process of exporting Iranian ballistic missiles to Russia has been put on the agenda. Currently, Fateh 110 and Zulfiqar are among the weapons that have attracted the attention of the Russians, which are listed in the list of Iranian exports as BM-300 and BM-700, respectively. The export version of the 4th generation of Fateh 110 missile has a minimum and maximum range of 150 to 300 kilometers and can hit targets with a 450 kilogram warhead within CEP less than 35 meters. Zulfiqar also has a range of 400 to 700 kilometers and a warhead of 590 kilograms. Of course, the Fateh family has other diverse members, among which Fateh 313 with the export name BM-440 and a range of 300 to 440 kilometers with a 380 kilogram warhead can be a suitable option. Apart from the Ministry of Defense, the IRGC is currently offering Ababal and Zohair missiles for export. The Ababal may not be a suitable option for use in Russia, but the Zohair missile with a 320-kilogram warhead and a range of 500 kilometers is a much better option than the Fateh 110 and Fateh 313. At the same time, there are other missiles in the country whose export status is unknown. Russia, facing a severe shortage in its missile arsenal and given the acceleration of Western arms aid to Ukraine, has resorted to using the KN-23 and KN-24 ballistic missiles of North Korea with a maximum range of 400 kilometers. However, Ukraine has called the ballistic missiles provided by North Korea unreliable, as only 2 of the used missiles have hit their targets. But Western researchers believe that the Fateh 110 and Zolfaghar missile families are precision weapons. The use of Iranian ballistic missiles by Russia in Ukraine would be a significant development. The missiles could be used to strike Ukrainian targets from a distance. Ukrainian military sources said that so far Kyiv has not recorded any use of Iranian ballistic missiles by Russian forces. According to the former Ukrainian defense minister, Russia wants to replenish its missile arsenal at a time when delays in the approval of a large U.S. military aid package in Congress have caused Ukraine to be in short supply of defensive and offensive equipment. Ukraine's air defense capability against ballistic missiles is very limited, and many critical facilities lack missile defense systems against ballistic attacks. To cover all defenseless strategic locations, Ukraine needs more air defense systems, including the American Patriot, which will cost billions of dollars for the Ukrainian side and its supporters. In conclusion, we should add that if, according to Western sources, Iran is really exporting ballistic missiles to Russia, in the not-too-distant future, visual evidence of the use of these weapons will be published and we will have to wait until then for more accurate analysis.